shitty technology.
All right, here we go. This is the Nerd Revolution Radio reunion. I said it without messing that up. JJ, Danny, and myself started that podcast a couple years back and ran for a good little while there. And with WrestleMania 40 coming up in Philadelphia, I figured I'd get the band back together and we could do our WrestleMania 40 picks. We're going to go through each match real fast-ish. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So night one, the opening match is going to be Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Now, real quick, I know they posted the card. Is that in order?
This is supposed that from what I've seen, this is in order.
Wow, they're having that match go on first.
They're going to have that match go on. I mean, Saturday's pretty packed too.
Saturday's got a stacked card.
Saturday's got a very stacked card.
I figured they open up night one with the ladder match and night two LA Knight.
Nope.
I thought the same thing. Really?
So who do you have, JJ, winning the Becky match?
I feel like that's going to be Rhea's, that's going to be her defining moment. Because Becky's hyping herself up to be I'm still that, I'm that man, I'm the man, this and that, the third. I think that is Rhea's quote unquote coming out party to be the top woman, I should say, on the roster with that. I think Rhea wins that match.
Danny?
Yeah, I picked Rhea as well. I think she's just she's on fire right now, and I think it's a situation where they're going to use Becky to put Rhea over a little more, and I think it's Rhea's time. I think they're going to be setting up a storyline soon where I think Rhea's going to end up leaving Judgment Day as well.
I think Becky's going to win, or not Becky. I'm sorry. I think Rhea's going to win also, and I hopefully they can kind of get rid of the man thing and kind of put Becky on a path to something else, because I think the man thing is kind of played out now for her.
Stale, very stale.
Maybe she.
I like that, but every storyline, has to have a reset somewhere along the line. But,
absolutely.
I just think the problem is I think they tried to make Becky so many times to try to make her a heel, and it just doesn't work.
No, not at all.
In the beginning, it did, but she's too. Even when she's a heel, she's a babyface. I think Rhea is becoming that as well. So.
Yep. And that'll tie into the second match. The second match of the night is going to be the 6-pack ladder match. You have Finn Balor and Damian Priest as the champions versus DIY, Gargano and Ciampa versus Awesome Truth, The Miz and R-Truth versus The New Day, Kofi and Xavier Woods versus Austin Theory and Grayson Waller and versus Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. So
now, before you ask me to win, I thought I read somewhere that it's both titles are up, right?
Yes.
Titles are up.
So basically, if one tag team wins the blue belts, the red belts are still in the match. So there
correct.
can be 2 winners.
My theory, that plays into my theory. What I think is going to happen.
So that's why I believe, just because of how big he got over the Judgment Day thing, and I think Miz needs something too, and I think Miz and R-Truth win the Raw belts.
Okay, what about so if they're splitting that way?
It's funny because the two that I want is I want DIY to have push too, but that's just it because they're both Raw rosters. They're both on Raw, so I don't know. I say DIY, but I also believe that something that goes down with this ladder match will have to do with something that goes on in night 2.
Okay.
Which I feel that I feel like I want to say the Judgment Day takes the one set of belts, but I have a feeling something's going to happen to create the whole, to kind of spark the next feud between Priest and Finn Balor. And I think something has to do. When we get to night 2, we'll get there.
Yeah.
JJ. Which anybody who's paying attention probably knows where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
But we'll get there when we get to night 2.
Mm-hmm.
So little backstory context. Me and Frank and I, we went to the Helium Comedy Club last night, and R-Truth was, I would say, the main guest.
Yeah.
And after hearing his journey back, I mean, it's hard not to get emotional. I mean, and explain it to Danny later on, but I'm pulling for R-Truth and Miz to win the Raw belts, and that's who I pick.
I just,
Smack.
it's, and I'm curious to hear what you're going to say about R-Truth. If it's anything what I've read, I've seen a couple like mini documentaries with him on not mini documentaries, just podcasts he's been on when he breaks character and talks. But
Yeah, it
but
was.
the other thing is for me, I've always been and will be a Miz guy. Like I just feel like he's from the story of him getting kicked out of the locker room over a piece of chicken. You know what I mean? To asking Taker to let him back in, and just earning his. Like, here's one thing you can say about Miz: whether it's some gimmicky match, or it's an actual main event or a mid card match, he doesn't complain.
He doesn't.
And look how successful he is right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
I'll take what he has any day.
yeah, he's so successful in my opinion because he's just like Taker. Like what did Taker say to Jericho a couple years ago when Jericho was complaining about, I forget what match it was. You guys probably
Fandango.
What is it?
Fandango.
Yeah, yes. And then he was just like, what am I supposed to do with this? And then Taker just says, do it.
Yep.
Like,
tear the house down.
Every moment you get, make the best of it. And I think Miz has done that.
Yep.
Same thing with Sami. Sami, obviously got his big break like a year ago. But I think Miz, since he had the title with the John Cena rival with him, that rival was great. I think Miz could really do something because I really wanted Miz to go against Gunther. That's what I thought we were gonna go.
Yeah, but I think he had that stipulation where he could never challenge him again or something.
Right, but again, yeah. So I picked, but yeah, I'm an R-Truth Miz guy all the way. So.
Yeah, and I mean it's crazy to think that R-Truth never really technically had a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
remember brought that up last night.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was dumbfounded by that. I mean, you never really think of it when you actually go back and you look at it, but it's like, whoa. But I'm going to go Dark Horse SmackDown, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory.
That's a good
I said when they first announced this match, I said jokingly that Truth was going to climb the ladder and grab one set of belts and leave the other set up there. In the way his character goes, the way
sure.
that not knowing what he's doing type of thing. I think that they're going to win, and I really do think that Theory and Grayson Waller are going to get the other belts.
Yeah, they need a push.
I'd be okay with that, actually.
And it won't be for long, but they definitely need to split those belts and get them back on their respective brands.
They need that push.
They do. So that after that match, we get the LWO versus Santos and Dom. So we get Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio.
I feel like WWE really dropped the ball on this situation.
Bingo.
Like, I think it would have been even better if they could have found a way to make that story be a triple threat between the three of them.
Right.
Or it should have just been Rey and Dom part 2. You know what I mean? Like, Dom is so, compared to where he was the first time around to where he is now, he's such a huge name. He's got so much heat that would have been a great, having twin versus twin and father versus son, I don't know. I just feel like it could have been.
He's got so much more potential. He's become a better wrestler over the last
year. Absolutely.
And they keep pushing, what's his name? And he, don't get me wrong, he's good and everything.
Dragon Lee?
What?
Santos?
Yeah.
Santos is decent. I like him.
Yeah. But I just feel like, he's just, the spoiled brat kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? I just, again, I like him, but he doesn't have the it factor for me as far as marketing something. Hey, maybe that could change. Dom used to be that nerdy little kid, like, oh man, he's like, it looks like he's kind of a Ray ripoff without a mask, but look what he's become. You know what I mean? And if you ask me, Dom in another 2 years, Dom's going to be on top of the world with Cody probably. So
who wins that? Who wins this match? Who do you think or want to win this match?
I want to say Dom. I think Dom needs this more than anybody.
I agree with that.
Okay.
And I believe Dom doesn't pin Ray.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it could set up match number 3 with them two at SummerSlam.
Ray
I
had a
would-
win last year. They had to give him his flowers.
Yeah.
So
I also think that Dom's going to win. Dom and
Dom's
Sam.
got so much heat right now. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
But I think that that's also going to play into the Judgment Day storyline too. Him winning helps the Judgment Day storyline go ahead. Maybe Andrade comes out and helps Dom win the match, and then again,
Which then sets up Andrade against one of the other two. You know what I mean? Because then it gets Dom out of the picture. Dom wins, and now it brings him into the mix with Ray. And come on,
we're recording this on a Thursday. Friday night SmackDown hasn't even happened yet, so there could be something more coming Friday night that we don't know about that makes a pick or two irrelevant.
possibly, yeah.
So we're in agreement with that. And then the next match on that card, boy, Julio's got a hell of a night for him. Brother versus brother, Jay versus Jimmy.
Ooh.
JJ.
Third time brother versus brother. First time twin versus twin.
Yeah.
JJ, who's your pick?
Then this is one of those ones where I'm not locked in on a. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the safe answer is Jay, right? I mean, he's getting that push through the moon at this point. I don't know. I feel like Solo plays a role. I think Jimmy pulls it off.
Danny?
Same. I think Jimmy wins. I think this. I don't think this is going to be the last time we see them two face off. I think to keep the bloodline. You guys wait till you see who's coming onto the 2K24 showdown. None other than Mr. Lane Johnson.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Jimmy wins this. I do think Solo gets involved in some way. Of course. I mean, I think that. Think about it. Solo doesn't have anything going on all Mania. You know what I mean?
That's a shame. That is
But
a travesty.
but with that being said, you know, there was a rumor that there's some sort of other surprise that hasn't been announced yet, and it does. And look what happened in Saudi Arabia. Look who doesn't have a match. Look who said he's available. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a Cena comes out and sets up another thing with Solo.
I personally think that Jay is going to win because Jimmy has cost him so many opportunities. He cost him the Intercontinental belt. He cost him didn't he help? He helped them lose the tag belts when he had him with Cody, which I still don't understand. But I think Jay is going to pull off the win, and I think,
as you guys say, him. That's who shows up.
I think Jay wins, and there's a small reconciliation between the brothers after the match that will also tie in to a Sunday night's match. I think of this there's so much pointing into Sunday night with a couple of these matches that this is one of the big ones. So then the next match is going to be the Bianca Jade Naomi versus Damage Control match. That if I were there, I would be going to the bathroom. No offense, but that's my bathroom match.
Oh, my bathroom match already passed that LWO one.
So who's going to win that? Is this Jade Cargill's coming out? Well, I gotta give the finger.
Cause of Jade, bro. Jade.
Is this Jade's coming out? Is Jade going to come out is Jade going to get the pin? Is she going to have her coming out moment? Or
I think so.
Turn on them?
I think so because the title's not on the line.
Yeah, they got to elevate her somehow. So I think I think that's perfect.
I think Jade's gonna be the She-Hulk, the superhero that comes in and kind of helps and wins the match. But the belts aren't. If the titles were on the line, I'd say flip it.
I bet you.
I don't think they're ready. Cause obviously, she's not ready to be a title.
No, but those titles will be on the line Monday night most likely because Damage Control is kind of pointless now.
Yeah, it's basically run its course.
So after that match, we have the big Intercontinental match: Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
Gunther.
I think Gunther wins. We're all disappointed. We all thought it should have been.
It should have been Chad.
Yeah, Chad Gable. It should have been Chad Gable, but I could have swore. I mean, I still thought up until the other day that it was going to be turned into a triple threat match. It just seemed like
Yeah.
they were trying to do something like that.
It
And then
left
with the videos of the Rocky 3 spinoff and stuff like that, like I was like,
so cringe.
it was funny. I thought it was
It was
hilarious.
hilarious, but it was cringe.
I mean, you get why they did it. I mean, it was one of those things where they weren't trying to hide what it was. You knew what it was, and they're playing into the Philly thing. So
I think Gunther wins, and I think Chad turns on Sami for losing, and the next night Chad does something with Gunther.
It's possible.
Unless it happens again.
I think I think that's a good call. I would say that I think Chad wins the belt on Monday night.
And the main event, for Saturday night, night one, which I think we're all gonna be in agreement on the winners, is The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
Rock and Roman.
I absolutely there's zero chance that Cody and Seth are winning this match because there's so much more going to happen Sunday night. But who's going to eat the pin?
Seth.
You think so?
Seth.
I think The Rock Cody clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a very similar ending to what last year was.
Yeah, I absolutely think The Rock pins Cody.
And I still think Jimmy and Solo get involved somehow too.
Actually, I take that back. Roman's going to get the pin because that'll be Roman's 1,000th career win.
Oh, okay.
I like that.
I don't know which one. I just remembered that while I was talking. It may not be Cody because you want to protect Cody because you want.
That's why I think Seth.
So Seth, because again, we're going to move into night 2 real fast.
Right,
but I think that Seth eats the pin, and then we go into night 2, and the very first match we get, so the 3 of us will be in attendance night 2, is Seth versus Drew opens the night.
What?
That's
what I heard. I did hear that.
It makes sense if you think about it, because you're going to need Seth down the line for the main event. He's going to get destroyed. Or is Punk going to cost Drew the belt?
No.
He's going to be there at commentary.
I think that's actually a good point. I like that angle. I think yes, Punk has something to do with it. I mean, he's coming down to. You're not just going to have him commentate, because we're not going to hear what he's saying on the live. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to have to do something. He's going to have some sort of important role in the match, and I think if that's the way it goes that way, and Punk interferes in some way, that's where I feel that leaves the door open for Priest to come in and cash in at Mania.
Now, what if Priest comes down, hands in his briefcase, and there's not the right contract in there? Because when they switched the cases, when Finn switched the case with him back a couple months ago, Finn took the contract out and put it in the new case. What if there's some shenanigans going on and Damian doesn't actually have the contract? Seth beats Drew, right? Well, Drew, the Money in the Bank comes down. Damian cashes in, but it's not the right contract, so he's disqualified. Finn comes down, and Finn pins Seth for the belt.
Huh. Yeah, but he didn't. Whether he switched the contracts or not, the rightful winner of the Money in the Bank is Damian Priest.
But he gave the case up for
I feel like Drew is too hot right now to do some shenanigans to him.
I don't think Drew's winning yet.
I don't do anything to Punk. I do think Drew. When Drew's on the offense, he'll keep looking at Punk, giving him some, talking his smack and stuff like that. And I think maybe at one point, when Drew's about to go for that win, have his WrestleMania moment in front of the audience, he's about to win, Punk does a trip up or something like that, and causes him to not win because remember, Drew won with no audience,
right?
And he keeps talking. He wants to have an audience. He brings it up in every promo.
He
I'm
does.
gonna finally get it in there in front of all the people in the world I didn't get before. He keeps saying that.
It's too on the nose. And honestly, I'll be happy with whoever wins that match. And
No
if it does, huh?
I not Seth. I love Seth, but Drew's got to win. Drew's got to win. He's got to go over. I think it's a squash match, honestly.
Dude, I think Punk is in better shape than we know.
So do I.
I think he's coming back sooner than we think.
That's the same
He's hinting. He's hinting, but he's not at the same time saying that he's a lot more in the healing process than he was the last time around.
You could also get.
You watch that video.
You could also get
out of the ring. He dropped on his arm and rolled out of the ring, I believe.
Yeah.
You could also get a Charlotte Flair interference in a damage control match too, on the good side.
Dude,
you think her legs healed up enough for that?
Dude, Charlotte tore 2 places in her legs.
That's nuts.
I mean,
she was early as 9 months.
I watched some of her rehab videos. I mean, look,
when did she get hurt?
Look how fast Bryce Harper came back from Tommy John. But
he's the John Cena of baseball. We discussed this,
right? But when did Charlotte get hurt? If it what was it? October?
It was like a couple weeks after she came back already.
Yeah, she wasn't back long. So the second match we're gonna do, this is my bathroom match. This is the Philadelphia Street Fight.
I'll be waiting with you, buddy.
With the carrying cross. Honestly,
I gotta look where my seats are, because if I'm like set in the middle of the row and I gotta go that way or that way, I'm probably not gonna move.
I picked the end of the row on purpose, just so I could get up and down. I don't care who wins.
The link is very good. It's not a bad seat in the house.
No,
but they just can squeeze you in there, and there's not much room. So like, if I'm row 8 in like section. I think I'm like 17, 18, or 19, something like that. So I'm probably in the middle of the row. I'm probably gonna have to hold it in. Like I said, the year the Panthers and the Eagles played in the NFC Championship game, and I won those tickets off the radio. I literally at the time worked at the hospital. I took one of those like the pee cups that you'd have in the hospital. I had that in my overalls and just went in there.
That's gross, but I get it.
That's Philly for you, though, bro.
So kept me warm, though.
Who wins the Philadelphia Street Fight match?
Bobby Lashley. His squad.
I feel so bad for Karrion Kross. The dude, he struggles to get over. He just like
nobody likes
because
him.
You know what it is. You don't know what he wants to be. Is he like a Bray Wyatt Undertaker character?
It's creative. I agree 100%. You know what? Oh man.
You know his what he should do is his character should just be somebody like, hate to say it, it's like I hate to use like, you know, because we just saw Roadhouse and stuff like that, but almost like that bar fighter, you know what I mean, like one of them guys, because he just comes off like a biker guy. Like, play into that, or are you playing into the scary guy? Like, are you like supposed to be like are you taking a piece of Aleister Black and Bray Wyatt and Undertaker and then mixing it in with Ghost Rider?
Yeah, I don't think they know what to do with him.
No, they don't. And I don't think he knows at this point. No. I think I don't know. Again, I feel bad for the dude. He was on top of the world in the Indies, and even in NXT, he was hot. But
just to go against you guys, I'm going to pick Karrion Kross. Just because.
Well, I never even picked anyone, but
I mean, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, look at what is the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley done?
Right. I agree with you. I agree.
The same thing. They all these gimmicks. They keep trying to come up for Bobby and everything. And to be honest with you, I haven't really cared much about Bobby since he had to shave Vince McMahon's head.
I haven't cared. Well, Bobby was. No, listen, he was a great champion. It was a heel with MVP. He was.
Sure.
When I liked him when it was like, again, I know it wasn't anywhere near what it used to be, everything, but the ECW Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, that was the Roman Reigns before Roman Reigns.
Yeah, like I dug that. I think now the problem is his voice doesn't match his.
No, he cannot cut a promo. His promo skills are terrible.
Like if you
put him with MVP,
if he was a voice,
exactly.
if he was a voice actor, he couldn't be a villain.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But if you mute the thing and you mute the volume and you look at him like this dude could be a bad dude.
I'll say this before I
Probably
guess we move on to the next.
Mike Tyson could.
I this one could be that secret banger one. Like this could be like, oh shit, like it's really good. I'll go with AOP just because.
I mean that's I mean
that's a toss up. I think for
bring
all
out a Wawa sign and hit somebody with a Wawa sign.
What do you guys at home think? What do you guys at home think? Because we don't have the slightest clue.
No. Next match that we get is LA Knight versus AJ Styles.
Okay.
Because I know you're going to go a little bit, I'm just going to pick. I think LA Knight's getting the win here because he's got to start moving forward, and he's got to get a belt sooner or later.
I agree.
I like him. I like his look. I'm talking about AJ. I like his look right now, but AJ never works as a heel for me.
Nah.
You know what I mean? Like they try, and every year it's like he won. It's like every other year now. He's a heel. Then the next year he's a babyface, heel, babyface, heel, babyface. He's just a better babyface.
I agree.
You know what I mean? He's, you know what he is? He's like you want him to be like the underdog, like MMA fighter. You know what I mean? JJ just left.
Yeah, he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back. He probably just
he probably hit the button.
Probably hit a button. He should be able to join right back though.
But nah, I think I love AJ Styles. Love AJ Styles. You know, but there he is.
We back? We back? Okay, yeah. I don't know why it got booted out, but sorry.
But no, I love AJ Styles, but like also like, you know, you guys are right. You know, LA Knight needs that push more than AJ does, and I think that's what AJ came in to do, is to put LA Knight over.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. AJ's putting LA Knight over.
We get the triple threat match. We got Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. JJ, who's coming out with the belt?
You know what? It's an interesting little fact that Randy Orton's never won the title.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Randy Orton.
Okay. Danny?
Logan keeps it.
I agree with... I agree. I think... He was so mad at that answer that he just left. He didn't care.
He was so mad at me. Mic drop.
Gone. I also think Logan keeps the belt, but I think he loses it Monday night.
Okay.
I think something happens Monday night and he loses it. So Danny and I both think Logan keep the belt. I think something happens Monday night and he loses it.
Okay. Sorry. I don't know why I keep getting booted out. I apologize.
You're fine. The next take up to 2 minutes. There we go. All right. Here we are. I have no answer for him. I have no answer for him. There's no answer.
Go.
Hello.
The main event. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the Universal World title. JJ, get it in.
Cody Rhodes.
Danny. I see nipples. I think it's going to be Cody also, but I don't think it's going to be clean. I think it's going to be a dirty, overbooked, horrible mess that we're going to love every second of. I'm just going.
Yeah, I think Cody wins.
I think Cody wins.
I think it's time. I think they know it's time to let the belt go. I think this match is gonna set up for WrestleMania 41, where we will get Roman and The Rock. I think that's what's gonna happen. I do think Stone Cold is gonna come back. I think he's gonna have a little surprise, help out, and all that kind of stuff. So,
JJ's having connection problems. He dumped for now.
Yeah. He said he texted us. He said he got his picks.
So I also think Stone Cold comes back. I think when that glass shatters in that stadium, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. It's gonna be the loudest thing in the world.
Yep.
I'll say
this. I would love at one point in the beginning of Cody's entrance, we hear America.
I think he does something. I definitely think he does something special. I also think, The Rock is leaving after WrestleMania to go film 2 movies. So he's going to be gone for a little while.
Which is why I think we'll set up. I mean, they did that whole, they announced The Rock and Cena a whole year ahead of time. So
Right.
they did that. I believe that was announced the Monday after Mania.
So I think he'll be at Monday. He'll be at Mania Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that what I really would love to happen is I would love for Stone Cold to come down and give The Rock a stunner in the middle of the ring, roll him out of the ring, and Cody rolls up Roman and gets the 1, 2, 3, and let that be that. For all the joking around and the trolling and the saying Roman's never going to lose and Roman's going to win, and I absolutely, now the guy I'm going with, Matt, hates Cody Rhodes, hates him with a passion. He wanted CM Punk there. It wasn't going to be CM Punk anyway, but he hopes that Roman wins forever. So I'm going to have a good time putting it in his face.
Yes, Cody finishes the story.
I
For
agree.
this chapter of the story.
Correct. All right. So those are our picks.